Hi Taurus, welcome to your week ahead reading. There you go, look, I said the name right this time. I got your zodiac sign correct this week. I know I made a right blooper last week. I do apologise. I still posted it because I'm not one to redo a reading. But I do appreciate, what I appreciate the most was how everybody went about that. Rather than, you know, coming at me, you were like, oh, you said Gemini. And I was like, oh my gosh, I so did. I am so sorry. But anyway, so I thank you for that. Right, let's get on with your reading. I have a new deck. Look at these. These are angels and auras. I'm very into the angels at the moment. And if you are too, or if you're interested in joining the angels, yes, you can do that too. Check out Nikki Allen's playlist. That's where I've literally, I'll show you, look. I've got back into my journaling too. Look, all my notes on the angels. Oh, and this is, I'm really plugging Nikki Allen here, but that's her journal, soul journal. I bought this ages ago. I don't know if it's still available. Got it on Amazon. But anyway, hence the cards and the inspiration for the cards. So let's start the reading. I'm going to ask for 2 cards, please, and thank you to start Taurus's reading. Thank you. We have Divine Self, Intuition, Balance, Connection, and Spirit. And we have Guardian Angels. Wow, you have 2 colours here too. So, Intuition, Balance, Connection, and Spirit. Divine Self is orange. And it's like maybe there's an energy of you being a bit more spiritual next week, trusting your instincts, trusting the universe a bit more. Now, there's a really interesting, I'll really just very quickly tell you this story that's happened to me this week. I did exactly that. I've got back into my meditations. I got a bit lazy with meditation. And then I thought, no, Shelley, get back to it, get back to it. And I got somebody come through to me. And I thought, do you know what? Again, you know, left brain goes in. I need some evidence of this because I think I'm making this up. I got the energy of my nanny come in, whose name was Peggy. And so I said, if this is correct, and I'd called in some archangels to help me. Archangel Haniel, very good for helping you communicate with spirit. If this is correct, I want to see that name in the next couple of days, please. And I'll be really honest with you, I completely forgot I'd asked for this. Anyway, I go for a walk with my dog the very next day. And this is why I'm saying trust your intuition. I do the same route with my dog every single day. Never boring. There's always lots to look at. Beautiful, beautiful farmland. And I thought, I'm going to go a little bit further today. And something's nudging me, no, let's do a few more steps. Let's get more steps in. I know, I'll go through the graveyard. And I do go through this graveyard, but I usually go around the back. And I thought, I'll go through the front. And there in front of me is a tombstone with the name Peggy Elizabeth. And I'm not going to say the surname because obviously it's quite a personal thing. And I thought, and I saw it and thought, oh, that's my nanny's. Oh my gosh. There it is. And so I rushed home and I had to message my uncle and said, what was Nanny's middle name? And he said, Eliza. No, it's not Elizabeth. But what I'm saying to you here, very long, drawn out explanation, is look out for that next week. I really feel like you're going to be getting synchronicities, things that you just feel like, wow, they really do have my back. Because you've got your guardian angel here too. And the colour of white. This is protection, clarity, spirituality, and wisdom. I mean, gosh, you've got the 2 most spiritual cards here. So what I will say also is if you've lost somebody and they're in spirit, maybe look out for some feathers, look out for the coins. And I know everybody says this, but I can't tell you how amazing it makes you feel when you realise what signs they're trying to send you. So yeah, sorry, gone off on a bit of a tangent there for us. But there's definitely some connection spiritually coming in for you next week, or you are just, hopefully, getting back on board with your meditations, interested in retreats. Look out for those little snags. That's how I started tarot. I had no inclination to get, I've got to read tarot cards. Something just came up on my Facebook and I thought, well, that'd be interesting. Anyway, let's stop waffling now. What's the focus, please and thank you, for Taurus for week commencing 21st of July? Got the Fool. I love that energy. Very carefree. This is like let's go for it energy. Very oh, what's the word? Spontaneous, maybe. Opportunity, please and thank you, for Taurus. Thank you. 9 of Wands. What is a Taurus challenge? Please and thank you. There we go. 6 of Cups. Very much nostalgic energy there. Maybe you're remembering somebody from... For some of you, I wonder if you've got an anniversary coming up with somebody who's passed or it's their birthday. Feels very much like that too. What's bubbling under the surface? I'd love it if the High Priestess came out or the Hierophant. 9 of Swords. And finally, advice and outcome, please and thank you. 3 of Wands. Love that for advice and outcome. Okay, so the Fool energy. Ooh, now that is something about wiping the slate clean and starting again. That's what they want you to focus on. And this just gives us that lovely carefree, as I said, energy, which is, for me, this is what this card represents. More so in this deck than in the Ryder Waite. Because you can see she's just like trusting that she's not going to fall into that water. She's not going to fall. She's got, I think it's an amethyst in her hand too, which is a real strong connection again to spirit. There's a really big message of connecting to spirit next week for you. Now, the 9 of Wands is your opportunity. For me, it's like saying there's an opportunity, I think, for all your hard work is going to be paying off, because the 9 of Wands is, you know, you're nearly there. Don't give up energy. It can be something to do with work, a project at work, home, relationships, whatever it is. Wands are our determination and our zest and our oomph. But also there's an opportunity for you to perhaps to set some boundaries, because maybe somebody's just pushing you a little bit too far at the moment. But with that Fool energy and the connection to spirit, it's kind of like them, I feel like saying, don't dwell on this. Yeah, put your foot down. Don't let them, like, have some self-worth. If you're feeling like somebody's really just taking the juice, or your work situation, relationships, whatever it is, yeah, put those boundaries up. There's an opportunity for you to say something maybe. Now, the 6 of Cups is your challenge. I feel like definitely with the spirit cards here, there is a lot of reminiscing going on. Maybe you're looking through photographs, or you're remembering an anniversary coming up or something. And it is a challenge, especially the first few anniversaries, I'd say, after somebody's passed. And depending on how you look at life and when we pass over, I believe once you learn a more spiritual life, if you like, it gives you that comfort knowing that they are still there. So as a challenge, maybe it's something in the past still blocking you, or you're trying to block it out yourself and not embrace it. Now, the 9 of Swords is what's bubbling under the surface, and this is saying that there's some sleepless nights also, that perhaps is going on. Things are going round and round in your head. Swords are the mental suit, and you can see she's just covering. She's tired. She's got her pillow there, but she can't relax. The message of this card is not simply to say, oh, we know you're having sleepless nights. That would be no good. It's to say, well, what's keeping you up at night? Let's maybe write that down. Let's do something about that. Then you've got the 3 of Wands as your advice and outcome. And the 3 of Wands is saying, look at something from a bigger point of view. Look at what else you can do. Expand your horizons. Expand that, go on a new adventure, which is very much like what the Fool energy is saying too. And you'll be amazed at how it builds confidence too. And you realise, like she's realising here that she can surf, she can go and have fun. She's looking at other options here, but she is biding her time, but at least she's contemplating it. So it's like, look at, if you're wanting to change your job, for instance, what else can you do? Or if you want to stay in your job but you're bored, what department can you move to? It's that energy. It's look, just expand. Right, let's have a look. What the tarot, what Radiant Ryder Waite verifies with the Fool energy, please and thank you, for Taurus. The Fool energy. No, too many. Do you know, I just got a message kind of like saying also, very much for some of you will be, oh gosh, too many again, will be connecting, I feel. Whoever's on the other side, if you like, would be this very adventurous, carefree person. And maybe they're giving you the nudge to do something and you're just a bit like, oh no, oh no. And that's where the spiritual connection's coming in. Six of Swords, look at that with the Fool energy. This is moving on to calmer shores. Progress. Can also actually mean travel. And travel on the sea and water. There's a lot of water with that Fool energy and the Six of Swords. Maybe for some of you, you're contemplating literally moving abroad or going abroad. And it's a big decision. And it's like somebody in spirit is like, go for it. Go for it, Taurus. Or whatever it might be. I just feel like you're going to get a nudge. So listen to those nudges. Six of Swords is very much, yeah, leaving, like you've got this far. Keep going. Keep going. Now, the Nine of Wands is your opportunity. And as an opportunity, the Nine of Wands is saying there's an opportunity for you to say no, to put some barriers in place, whatever that may be. Bit of reflection here too. You can see she's kind of stopping and reflecting on what's going on or what's coming up. But it's also, again, it's like with that Six of Swords, I just said you're halfway there, maybe across the pond, and they wanted to push you to the end. And it's very much with that Nine of Wands is also the message of don't give up, you're nearly there. You've got the Four of Pentacles as an opportunity. Excuse me. Now, what that can indicate is that maybe this is something financial also involved, and it gives you the more stability financially for you too, to actually be in control of the finances or your material resources. I also feel very like he's protecting something there. His time, his energy, even his money. And again, with that Nine of Wands saying there's perhaps some boundaries you need to start setting in order to progress. That gives me the same message. Now, the Six of Cups is your challenge, and it's something like, it's a very nostalgic energy, the Six of Cups. It's remembering things from the past. It's, again, for some of you, I wonder if, you know, you have got some sort of anniversary of something coming up. Seven of Swords. Twice that's come out now. As a challenge, again, it's like an Aries also have the Seven of Swords bubbling under the surface, and it's the feeling of perhaps somebody has gone behind your back saying something about you, or it can also represent being strategic. It depends who that relates to, because I do truly think that some people use the word strategic to make the word sneaky a bit more flowery. Does that make sense? So there's something to do with something that's gone on in the past that you feel that perhaps somebody hasn't been completely honest with you, and been sneaking behind your back, even taking things from you. And it's, I just feel like with this reading in particular, you haven't realised it or looked at it like that before, because they've pulled the wool over your eyes, if you like. And now it's like, oh, hang on a minute. When I actually write down the facts of this, that's exactly what they were doing. I don't know, it's some sort of blindfold going on there. Now, the Nine of Swords is your what's bubbling under the surface, and there's something constantly on your mind, literally 24/7, that perhaps you're not dealing with for some reason. Let's have a look. Now, the Nine of Swords, again, is sleepless nights. What, again, going back to the spiritual side of things, if you're awake at night, take advantage of it. Stick headphones in or whatever you want, whatever listening device you have, and put a meditation on. It's a fantastic opportunity to not only help you forget about what's whirring around in your mind, because let's face it, nothing you can do about it till the morning anyway. So you might as well try and listen to something else. And it also, again, gets you spiritually connected. You can listen to guided meditations. There's just an infinite number on YouTube to choose from. So, Nine of Swords, why are you here for Taurus? Please and thank you. Oh, you jumped. Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Now, for some of you, could be, again, with that Four of Pentacles as your opportunity to be a bit more in control of the finances. There's something financially related to this again. But the Queen of Pentacles is lovely energy. She's very Empress-like for me with this deck especially. She sits in her abundance because she knows that what she gives out, again, in line with the universe, she gets back. She's very resourceful. She's very generous with her time, her energy, and her money. Because she knows that it's very rewarding for her as well as everybody else. So again, it's meeting that the universal energy of, what goes around comes around. Maybe there's a bit of a karmic thing going on for you here with the Nine of Swords. But that Queen of Pentacles, look, she just sits in her abundance. She's not particularly worried. She's very focused, usually a mum too. So some of you could be worried about a mum. But with that Nine of Swords, it's maybe you're having to borrow some money or lend some money out, and it's a worry, and it would be. But with the Queen of Pentacles, it's like saying, I'm not going to tell you to, go and get loans or anything like that. But it's more of a comfort seeing that Queen of Pentacles there to give you like a bit of a reassurance is what it feels like for me. It can actually mean that some of you are dealing with maybe a parent's finances or on behalf of them. Now, the Three of Wands is your advice and outcome, and it's like, once this is all done, then I feel like, oh, now there's more opportunity. Your world has just expanded. Three of Wands, why are you here? We got the Moon card. Don't often see them. I haven't seen the Moon card come out for a couple of weeks, actually. Now, the Moon card as an opportunity it's a major arcana attributed to Pisces. And when we see the Moon card, it is all about things coming to the surface. So it's like an opportunity, advice. Sorry, this isn't an opportunity. This is advice and outcome. So the advice of the Moon card would be to perhaps open up a little bit with your emotions, with your feelings, get things off your chest, bring it to the surface, because that's what the moon does. Realistically, the moon, full moon, rises the tides. The tides are the waters, and the waters are our emotions, and brings things to the surface, brings things higher. And there is like an advice card there as a message there to say, maybe you are you have this vision of doing something bigger, better. You just need to get it off your chest and let people know, because maybe there's been a big confusion about it in the past. Well, that was an interesting reading, Taurus. And I'm going to finish again with the tea leaf fortune cards because I'm really enjoying them. And yeah, let's see what other messages are there. Please and thank you for Taurus. Oh, interesting. Okay. This is the same deck, just split into two because there's a lot of cards here. Okay, we're going to take the one that's turned over. Wow. So we've got hat. It says you will be playing a different role, wearing a different hat. You know, maybe you're changing your jobs. Maybe there's something even within a relationship. And then we've got money path. A path with money is waiting for you to find it. To say with this Queen of Pentacles, there's something in your subconscious here about having generosity and being resourceful. By the way, I always mention her, but she is fabulous and worth mentioning. If you have the energy of like, well, nothing ever good happens to me, money never comes to me, blah, blah, blah. I really recommend listening to Kathleen Cameron. Kathleen spelt with a K, Cameron spelt with a C. She's incredible. I've just actually been listening to her this morning as well. And it's not just about money. If you think, oh no, I can't ask for money, that's not right. That's not within, you know, the spiritual realms, if you like. It actually has a cumulative effect on every other aspect of your life. So she's definitely worth listening to. Anyway, sorry, I've waffled. Have a great week, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed that reading, and I'll speak to you next week. Take care.